What's up, guys? This is Evan with Etzler Milling. Today we have 3 pieces of poplar that we're going to be sending through the planer. These are going to end up being shelves. They're 17 inches wide. We're going to end up with roughly an inch thick. These are still a little bit long. I have them cut over 4 foot right now, but once we're finished, we're going to trim these down into 2 foot sections. We're going to end up with 5 pieces when we're done. We're going to take you around the planer briefly here, and I'm going to give you guys a little more information on the particular planer that I'm using. So this is my Grizzly 5 horsepower, 20 inch wide planer. I used this in a past video you guys may have seen. Just a brief overview of the planer. We have a spiral cutter head on this planer, so unlike some planers, this isn't a straight blade planer. You actually have a wrap of small spiral carbide cutter teeth on here. Gives you a little bit nicer of a finish, and you get less tear out when you're doing wider pieces like this planer is capable of. It's single phase, 220, 5 horsepower. You have 2 separate speeds on this planer, 28 feet per minute as well as 16 feet per minute. When you're doing wider slabs, you want to use the slower speed typically, but if you're doing thinner boards that you're going to be planing a lot of the same thing in repetition, it's good to use the faster speed, the 28 foot per minute. I got this planer probably about a year ago. It's worked really well for me. I've been happy with it. Nice construction, it's heavy duty. You got the 4-inch dust port on the back. Another feature that I really like on this planer is you have these 2 rollers on the top. Makes it really easy when you're planing bigger, heavier pieces. As they feed out, you can just lift them and push them back over the top of the planer instead of having to walk the whole way around. It's a really nice feature. I also went with this planer because it came with a nice movable stand on the base of it. This planer is really heavy. It's actually almost 1,000 pounds. So I got this stand on the bottom here. I think they were doing a deal when I got this planer, so you got the stand with it. Lets you move it around pretty easily. So we are going to send a couple slabs through this thing and take you guys along. So here you can see we have our roller on the planer. We can adjust it to where we need it to be to start these slabs. They're 1.25 inches. Typically what I like to do is just give yourself a little bit of wiggle room in there. Start a little bit over your thickness just in case there's some irregularities in the slab. Once you have that set correctly, you're good to send it through. And usually what I do with this planer is I'll do 1 handle rotation with each pass. So you're taking about 1/8 of an inch off per pass. There are times if you're doing thinner pieces, you could do more than that. I just usually go with 1 full turn of the handle. It seems to work pretty well for pretty much anything you're sending through this. So we finished planing all 3 of our slabs. We got them down to 1 inch. Now you probably noticed, especially on the first slab, I was kind of fighting getting it through the planer a little bit. And that's due to the cupping of these slabs whenever they were drying. You get a little bit of a concave effect to them. And I'll be the first to admit that these probably aren't the driest to be sending through the planer, but that's what I had to work with for this. And we're gonna stack these in the kiln, put a little bit of weight on them, let them sit for a few days, and they should be able to straighten out, get rid of that curvature of these. But yeah, once we let them sit for a little bit here, finish drying out, we will revisit these and they should be good to go. So I put the slabs in the kiln here. Like I said before, they weren't dry enough really to be sent through the planer yet. I'd like them to get a little bit drier. I'm hoping to take that cupping out of them by putting them in here and putting some weight on them. So not really your ideal scenario, but that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna let them sit in here and bake for a couple of days with some weight on them. Check on them again in a few days and they should be good to go. Perks of being an electrician.